and we were camping, and you made friends with the neighbors, and you decided you were going to be giving some marital advice to the girls over there.
Yes, because I think this has been well established, although I don't think we emphasize it enough on the show.
That you give good advice.
I give good advice. It's a known fact. Ask anyone who knows me.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows.
From Indianapolis, Indiana, it's Julie and the Painter.
Yes, in fact, I believe that's a big part of the reason we started the podcast, honestly.
Right, so you could give advice to everybody.
Isn't that why, honey? Isn't that what you were thinking? You thought I can't keep all of this advice to myself. I have to share it with the world.
You have to share it with the world. Man.
You thought that.
Well,
yeah.
It's like a responsibility we have.
It is. So I was telling these young whippersnappers from from Southern Indiana, I was giving them some marital advice, and I don't know how this came up, but I have a lot of advice. But
you were talking about how your belief is you shouldn't have photos of your kids and your family.
It's not my
bedroom.
belief; it's scientific proof.
So what's your idea there?
Well, I read actually it was like an article or something in a self-help. I don't know, something I read sometime, and it really spoke to me. So. I'm just saying what I read was, and think about this. This is my marital advice. I want to tell the story because the story is really funny. But
tell the story.
I also want people to take this advice in. This is some good advice.
Okay, this is getting serious now.
Especially if you're a young couple, because I think as you get older, you do this. But I read this a long time ago, and this is what it said. It said your bedroom should just be all about you and your spouse. There should not be any. It's not a family room. It should be like your little love nest, and that doesn't have to be goofy. But it's like it means you shouldn't have pictures of your kids. You shouldn't have your beautiful, like I got beautiful pictures taken of me and my baby, in my little white nightgown and shit when I would have babies. That stuff shouldn't be in your bedroom. There's nothing about that that's sexy.
You're trying to get all romantic and you look around the room and see the kids.
Or see or have a family picture of, this is what I told the girls at the campfire. I said, no guy is going to look at their bedside table and see a picture of like you and your mother and think, wow, I want to have it's like, it's not going to happen.
Right.
And it's not that you don't love your family or your kids. There's a place for all that stuff. There's a place to recognize your love for your family, but this is your place for you and your husband. So like in our bedroom, we just have paintings that you've painted. We have pictures of us together. We have pictures of our wedding in Paris. We have candles. There's no kids. There's no parents. I love our parents to death. Well, most of them. I love your mom. She's great. I do. Yeah. I love my family. Yeah. I do. But the bedroom is not the place for that. So I was telling him that. Yeah.
So anyway, you were telling this
I have some more advice. Get some of those boudoir pictures taken, have some candles. It should be a love nest, right? It should be. Right.
Yeah, so, I agree.
And the other thing is no televisions in the bedroom. I'm a firm believer that televisions don't belong in the bedroom. Honestly, for children, it develops really bad habits, but especially for married couples. Yeah,
now there's a lot of people out there that'll disagree with that.
I know. Yeah. The only time I wish there was a television in my bedroom is when I'm sick. That's for sure. Yeah, when I'm laying in bed sick, or if you traveled all the time and I was in, that was kind of my space where I came up to be by myself.
But that's not the case.
That's not the case. For the most part, I don't think couples should also have TVs in their bedroom. But I digress.
You digress in every show.
I know. I digress. So I was telling the girls this, and I was a little tipsy, and they were cracking up. They were younger than I am. I think one of them was having her 30-something birthday, and they were young. But they were like, "Oh, it's such good advice." And this girl, she said, she goes, "Oh, that reminds me." That reminds me of this advice my mom gave me. She said.
You can hardly get it out without laughing.
It was fucking funny because I wasn't expecting it. She said, first of all, she says, when my grandfather died, he was my, she tells me this she makes it a big, long thing. She goes, he was my favorite person.
Yeah.
I could be a comedian, like Lucille Ball.
We'll let the audience judge that.
All right, she goes, he was like my favorite person in the whole world. I love my granddaddy to death, And she goes, when he died, I told my mom that I wanted to have a tattoo with my granddaddy's head and some praying hands around it. And I wanted to put it on my shoulder. And my mom said, oh, honey, when someone's like doing it from behind, they're not going to enjoy seeing that. And I said, I cracked up. I was laughing so hard, I spit my wine out. I said, that might be the best mother advice ever in the history of the universe.
Yeah, that's a good
That
one.
was good advice. So, girls, you need to think about that. Tattoos on the back need to be aesthetically pleasing and maybe a little bit, erotic. So, I'm just saying, no praying hands or pictures of your grandma.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.